Hey, what's up, everybody? Time for another game theory community discussion kind of video. We're joined by the Scrub-a-Dubs. I think they actually are supposed to have names. I think they're called Bubbles. We're joined by the Scrub-a-Dub Bubbles. Okay. Today, oh yeah, remember if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Appreciate it. Thanks. Today, I want to talk about what makes a scrub. Like, what is a scrub? What is scrub mentality? What are professional scrubs? And what is your first personal scrub experience, maybe? Now, if you think of a scrub, right? Scrub might be considered somebody that is not good, let's say. But I also think the mentality of what is a scrub is important, right? And what is scrub mentality? And I think when you get down to it, and this goes for just the professional scrub as well, is a scrub is somebody who automatically thinks they're better than somebody. Someone who thinks that they deserve to be the best, right? I'll tell you maybe perhaps my first scrub experience. And this goes into a little bit of game theory as well, right? When I've talked about, you cannot tell me, I mean, there might be, but I can't think of it. You know, there's a lot of hate towards dragon punches, whatever it might be, towards fundamental stuff that made fighting games what they are today. And, you know, oh, I hate that dragon punches are invincible, whatever, blah, 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 right? Too powerful for what it is, has too much of an influence on the match, right? But even in these old school games, you still use normal moves. You don't always anti-air with the dragon punch, right? And so I would say perhaps maybe my first scrub mentality experience, and I would not be surprised if maybe you watching this have had this as well at some point, especially if you're an older school player. I've talked about before, back in the day, if you weren't winning, you weren't playing. Or you weren't playing if you weren't winning, right? When you think about the arcades, because Street Fighter 2 was such a big deal, right? And so you had to get good at fundamental stuff, right? And I've talked about the GED level of video games, right? Back in the day, one of the GED levels might be the execution just to do special moves, right? But I would say one of my first scrub experiences would be, say, I could do special moves, but I lost to somebody that was not good at special moves, right? Now, I'm not saying this player was amazing or anything by today's standards at all. And of course, when I'm talking about me playing Street Fighter 2 as a kid, oh God, I don't know how old I was when I was playing Street Fighter 2 as a kid. Let's say 5 years old. I don't fucking remember, you know. I was very young, I'm sure. And, you know, I could do fireballs, I could do dragon punches, whatever. But I remember losing to a guy that was just mashing on buttons, basically, right? And I felt so angry, you know. And I was like, I probably almost cried, and I probably almost told like my grandma or whatever. It was like, he's cheating. He's not playing the game properly. He's not doing a special move, right? That's a scrub mentality, right? Thinking that because you can do something, right, that you deserve to be the one who is supposed to win, that you're playing the game properly, but the other person isn't playing it properly. Assuming that what you think is right is the only way a game can be played. Now, of course, I'm giving you a very archaic sort of example and a childish example, but it's a, you could say, childish example that can still be applied to even a adult watching this, assuming that you know more than somebody else, right? That you deserve to win because you're playing the game correctly, right? Their tactic isn't real, right? Just like we have professional scrubs, you know what I mean? Like, look at that, the Marvel community, right? How crazy. I mean, God, you could say the entire fucking video game community for how insecure they've been towards me. You know what I mean? No, don't post Clayton's videos. You can't post his tech. It's not real, blah, 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 right? Don't post it. It's not real. That's, and you know, some of these players, maybe they can play more than, say, Kid Clayton. Just, I can throw a fireball and you can't throw a fireball, right? You know. But the idea that you're so insecure over tech makes you a scrub, to be honest, right? Assuming that I must be better than this person. Maybe I've put in so much time into the game. It's not fair that this person beats me, right? When you have that sort of mentality, that makes you a scrub, right? So I don't think a scrub is just a person that is quotation marks bad at a game. It's also the mentality. And the mentality, you can be a scrub with a scrub mentality, and you can be a pro scrub with a scrub mentality or mindset, right? And I've always said this many times, why have I been able to predict games unlike anyone else in the fighting game community? Why have I done more than anyone else has done and for tech and combo videos, right? That's not me with an ego saying that per se. That's just stating a fact. And the reason I've been able to do that, and I've said so many times when you can watch the videos, is because I've never assumed that I'm better than people. The Dragon Ball Fighter Z example I gave, people didn't want to watch Scrubs play. And I said, the game is brand new. If you don't watch Scrubs play, how are you going to know the properties of the moves, right? Anything is of value. Even a scrub can help you get better if you have the right mindset. They're actually hitting the moves. So I watched the Scrubs play. So then when the game, I remember, I didn't play the betas. I played the very final beta, right? People, oh no, all the stuff Clayton is saying is wrong. If it was real, then other people would be doing it. And they didn't even try. They couldn't even be bothered to try. Complete scrub mentality, right? So then once I finally played the game, it was like over and over doing stuff, right? I mean, look at the game now. The game is basically just shit I found, right? That I first described. Just like so many of these other games, right? I've been able to do this because I never had an ego thinking that I know more than somebody, right? So I was willing to watch people that might be shitty, right? Also, even in terms of playing, I've said this before many times, I've been lucky enough that, again, my apparatuses that I've played on are not really up to snuff. I've had surgery on my hands. I can barely use my hands. When I work out, I don't even work out. I've never even lifted 50 pounds when I work out. People think that I do all this crazy shit. Never even lifted 50 pounds, right? Obviously, other health stuff, etc. Just your brain is fucked up when you're sick all the time, right? Point is, I'm not practicing all the time. And I could be much better, right? But me saying that I won and that I have won when I've randomly played online throughout the years, right? I've been lucky enough, right? But that's not me saying that I'm the best ever, right? I don't say everything I've done is optimal. Even though you look at games like Guilty Gear and Jesus Christ, it's fucking pathetic when you look at people, right? Still trying to do shit that I did 15, Jesus Christ. Accent Core, oh my God, how old is Accent Core? It was Accent Core 2006. It's almost 20 years. People are still trying to do what I've done in that game, right? And technically, it doesn't even count anymore. Even when they do a little bit of what I've done, it's not even real because they fucking macro and button bind everything, right? But, even when I've played, even when I've won tournaments and I've continued, I say that loosely, randomly play online, and I've won, guess what? I don't talk about how everything I do is optimal. I know that I could be a better player. I feel lucky that I've won as much as I have. I feel lucky that I was able to win tournaments, especially considering the circumstances, right? That's like not being a scrub, knowing that you can be better. Like if you think you're already the best and you already play the game optimally and there's nothing else for you to get better at, then why are you even playing? Really, if you cannot learn anything new, if you are so insecure about the evil Clayton, you know what I mean? No, Clayton's tech it's fake. It can't be real. Blah, blah, blah. If you know everything about the game, what is there to play? Like, as a human being, and and I say this too is when I think about announcers, right? They have to say everything is optimal, and it's very narcissistic and egotistical and to always assume that you are the best. And even though you can look at the game and like, we know that's not optimal. It's like a buzzword just to make matches seem more exciting. But if you think you are already the best and everything you do is optimal, how are you ever losing? If everything you do is optimal, how if you're already playing the game optimal, oh, that's the optimal set. That's the like, I'll never, like, that's complete scrub mentality to me. That's like me thinking about me being a kid and being mad that I had lost matches, even though I could do special moves before other people, and that I had lost to somebody mashing on buttons, right? That's like a scrub mentality to have, right? When I was a kid, I can tell myself I was, God, I don't know, let's say I was 5 years old or some shit like that, right? I was 5 years old, I was only pooping my pants a few years before that. I don't know, how long do you poop your pants when you're a kid? I don't remember. Maybe you poop your pants till you're 5 years old. I don't know. I don't think I was pooping my pants when I played Street Fighter 2. I think I had gone above pooping my pants, but the point is, if you have a scrub mentality, you're never going to get better. I know when I play games that I could always be better. And if you think you're already the best, I would think as a human being that there's no reason for you to play video games, right? If you think that you're optimal and you are the best person ever, I don't know why you would play video games as an endeavor in the first place anymore, because you've reached the top, so to speak, right? You're already the best. You play optimally. You can't learn anything from anybody else. So then move to another endeavor, I would think, right? Just like video games, admittedly, that's a fact. I know I've done more. I know I'm at the top, right? And I realized that at Dragon Ball FighterZ that no one, even when Dragon Ball FighterZ came out, I just did that to prove I was best. I took it as like a personal challenge, so to speak, right? Normally, I only like playing a few characters, I'll talk about the game system of a game, but normally I like to focus on a few characters because I would rather enjoy the game just with somebody that I like. But Dragon Ball FighterZ fighters, I took as a specific challenge to also do videos for characters that I normally don't care about, because I took it as like a personal challenge and just to really put a stamp that no one will ever do what I've done in games, right? And after proving that, I reached the top, proved it, And so for games like Strive, I'm not going to keep doing Strive. I did it. So I told everyone just how Strive is going to work, and I went back to, I kind of like Kai, did a few Kai videos, talked about the system, end. I don't need to do every character again. Just like Street Fighter 6. Predicted the game. I have an interest in Street Fighter 6. I don't care about playing it, but as a video game, a series that I would like to enjoy. Like, okay, I guess it's here. I'll predict the game. Did a little bit of tech for it, Talked about how the tech in the game would work, I should say, but I did a Ryu video, Ken video, whatever. But I don't care to do everything again because it's like that endeavor is not interesting to me. There's no personal challenge. I've already proved that me solo dolo can beat the entire community. All the greatest minds in the community couldn't beat me, right? That's not like an ego, right? That's just a fact. And I can say I wouldn't have been able to do that, though, unless I watched the Scrubs play, the people that other people were not willing to watch. Because I knew, and just like I know if any new game comes out, if I want to be the best at a certain aspect of the game, I need to be open to all ideas, right? I need to expand my mind, right? And just again, like I said, if I were to play a game, I don't think that I'm always playing it optimally or something. And if I thought that I was always playing it optimally, I don't know, I think I would get very bored very fast. If I was so full of myself to think that I'm always playing every game optimally all the time, I don't know how you would be actually playing the game. You must really love the game. Like, you're always optimal. Like, don't you get kind of bored? There's nowhere else for you to go. That's why, I don't mind discussing video games, but I just don't really have an urge to play them. I can't physically play them all the time anyway, even if I wanted to, because even playing RPG makes me tired. But the thought of video games, at least, the thought of video games is still interesting to me because I know video games can be better. And that is intellectually interesting to me. Right. But anyway, and the game theory part of this, it shows that, again, I've said before, no matter how much people want to talk about that, oh, special moves were so powerful back in the day. Just like Kid Clayton could lose to somebody mashing on buttons because normals. We see, like, look at games when they're played top tier level. You don't do special moves all the time. You still use normals, right? So, anyway, I don't know. If you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Appreciate it. Thanks. The end.